Percy had been sent to the old castle. There had been reports of noise coming from it. Percy arrived and had a good look around. Just a disused castle. Nobody here. And off he went. The castle had been taken over by minions, and with no one around, they started partying. However, they were hungry and needed bananas. It was Halloween and they were going trick-or-treating, but needed a train to get them to the nearest village. Who would volunteer for such a mission? I might have known. Tom lost the prank engine. It could only be you. Off they set for the village. They arrived at the first house.
Trick or treat. Banana?
Pepper gave them a banana.
Yay!
But where to put it?
Idea. Wait.
Problem solved, and on to the second house.
Trick or treat. Yay!
Another banana. And so it went on, house after house, collecting bananas.
Trick or treat. Yay!
Then they arrived at a candy house and went up to the door.
Ooh!
A wicked witch answered.
Trick or treat. Banana?
Now take your pick, said the witch. She had the biggest banana the minions had ever seen.
Yay!
Naturally, minions being minions, took the biggest one. And then the smallest one as well. Enjoy, said the witch. The minions couldn't believe their luck and headed straight back to the castle.
Bananas! Bananas!
When they arrived, they unloaded their prize banana to show everyone. Then one of the minions just couldn't wait. He went to bite it and it exploded in his face, throwing banana and green gunge everywhere. The minions had certainly been tricked. A model shark had been built at the end of the jetty. The diesels were riding right into the jaws and out again. Thomas thought he saw the shark laugh and wink at him. He ran away, scared. He met James. James, I think that shark at the jetty is real. Oh, I won't go there then, said James, and off went Thomas. He then met Gordon. Gordon, I think that shark at the jetty is real, said Thomas. Nonsense, said Gordon. But Thomas didn't believe Gordon. He went back to the jetty and saw Diesel 10 going into the shark's jaws. He definitely winked at me, said Thomas, and steamed off. The diesels kept going. Thomas met Percy. Do you think that shark is real, Percy? Said Thomas. No, said Percy, but it sounds exciting though. Let's go and do what the diesels are doing. Thomas wasn't so keen, but followed Percy anyway. When they got there, Percy got into position. Thomas watched from the side. Into the jaws and... He's eaten him! The shark's eaten Percy! I knew he was real! Thomas steamed off to get help. He met James. James, Percy's been eaten by the shark. I don't know what to do. Nor do I, said James. Thomas continued. He met Gordon. Gordon, Percy's been eaten by the shark. What can we do? Of course he hasn't, Thomas, said Gordon. But I saw it, Gordon, said Thomas, who then steamed off again. He met Diesel and Diesel 10. Your shark has eaten Percy, said Thomas. Oh dear, said Diesel. Oh dear, said Diesel 10. Still, one less steamy, I suppose. Thomas met Gordon again. Gordon, what are we going to do to get Percy back? Said Thomas. Well, why don't you look over there? Said Gordon. Thomas looked. Percy came steaming around the buildings. Percy, you're alive! Yes, said Percy. Sorry, Thomas. It was a prank. The shark's not real at all. Thomas was relieved and left with Percy. Later that day, Thomas decided to have a close look at the shark himself. When he got there, he was quite scared. He decided to go backwards. Well, that seemed okay, he said. Now forwards. He He inched forwards until he was in the jaws. "I did it!" he shouted. "The shark's not real at all." Thomas was in a very good mood, just steaming around in the country. Percy was as well. Thomas stopped at the junction. "Hello, Percy," said Thomas, but Percy went by and just disappeared. Thomas closed and opened his eyes. "I can't believe what I saw," he said. "Where's Percy gone?" Gordon and Henry were also enjoying their day. Thomas stopped as the big engines came by. "Oh no, stop! You're going to crash!" Too late. But where are they? He closed and opened his eyes again. They crashed. I know they did. I saw it. But then they disappeared. This is a very strange day, he thought. James was busy. Thomas, who was searching for his missing friends, saw James coming and stopped. "Have you seen Percy, Gordon or Henry?" asked Thomas. "No, sorry," said James. And off he went and completely disappeared. Thomas opened and closed his eyes again in disbelief. He started looking for his friends all over again. Where had they gone? Edward was pulling 5 troublesome trucks, quite slowly. Thomas saw Edward coming and stopped. "Have you seen any other engines, Edward?" said Thomas. "No, sorry," said Edward. "Can't stop, I'm afraid. I'll never get going again." He went into the tunnel, but never came out. How can they all fit in the tunnel, thought Thomas, and he moved forwards to look. It was empty. "I think I need a holiday," said Thomas, who continued his search. Where had all his friends gone? He thought he'd go through the tunnel himself to see if he disappeared. "Surprise!" said all the engines. "We pranked you today, Thomas, didn't we?" "Oh, thank goodness you haven't all disappeared," said Thomas. "But how did you do it?" "We just used mirrors," said Percy, "to make it look as though we were disappearing." They all laughed. It was James's day off, so he was fast asleep. Sir Topham Hatt then arrived. "Good morning, James," he said, startling James. "Sorry to wake you up, but I need your help. I've got a special delivery that I'd like you to make. Can you do it for me?" "But sir, my new wheels are in the repair shed. I can't go out on these." "Yes, of course you can. Just be very careful," Sir Topham Hatt replied. "OK, I'll do it," said James, and off he went. The delivery was a very special one. The bee carriage housed thousands of bees. The middle carriage was full of honey, and the back carriage carried 2 large ladybirds. As soon as James arrived, he reversed into the trucks, and his driver coupled him up. And off he went. Unfortunately, his old wheels weren't suited to the new points, so he had a bit of a problem. It was a mess. Luckily, the ladybirds were alright, but honey fell out of the middle carriage. Guess who found it? The honey really made Winnie the Pooh's day. Unfortunately, a bee escaped from the bee truck and landed on James's nose. "Ow!" he said, as he got stung. Luckily, Chomper arrived, and he helped lift the trucks back onto the track. He was done in no time. "Thanks, Chomper," said James. "No problem," Chomper replied, and James continued on his journey. When he finally finished his journey, the sting on his nose had gotten much worse. His nose was really swollen. So he dropped off the trucks and slowly went back to the sheds. What a rotten day off it had been. So he reversed into his shed. "What's wrong with your nose?" asked Thomas. "I was stung by a bee," said James. "Oh dear," said Percy. "I just need a good night's sleep," said James. Thomas and Percy were feeling cheeky, and Thomas had an idea. When James fell asleep, they sprung into action. The next morning, James felt much better. "Good morning," he said. "Morning, James," said Thomas. James came out of his shed. "Be careful out there," said Percy. "I will," said James, and off he went. Thomas and Percy stayed in their sheds, chuckling. James didn't realise anything was different. He passed Gordon. "Hi, Gordon." Hello," said Gordon. "Was that James?" he wondered. James then passed Spencer. "Hello, Spencer." "Hi, James." "I thought James was always red," he wondered. "People are acting awfully strangely," thought James. Then finally he bumped into Thomas.
"Hi, Thomas. Why are people acting so strangely?" he asked. "Oh, I'm sorry, James. After what happened yesterday, Percy and I painted you yellow and black, just like a bee." Luckily, James saw the funny side, but he was proud of his red coat of paint, so he rushed over to the engine wash. "Ah, that's better," said James, and he rushed off to work, shiny and red as per usual. It was a beautiful day, and Thomas was transporting some digging equipment. Nearby, Tom Moth's the prank engine was having a little giggle to himself. He'd done something naughty again, which Thomas would soon find out. Meanwhile, Thomas had to halt his journey. The path he was going to take was closed. "Oh well," said Thomas. "I've never been the other way before. I'm sure it will be fine." And on he went. The track led to a strange tunnel. When Thomas emerged, he had no idea where he was. He was in some dark, scary world, and he had no idea how to get back. Suddenly, Thomas could hear a distinctive laugh nearby. Tom reversed down the tunnel, with Thomas in pursuit. When Thomas emerged, he stopped. He was relieved to be back, but he couldn't see Tom anywhere. Was that a bad dream? He wondered. But the dinosaur marks on his sides were definitely real. So Thomas left to deliver the equipment. Once he'd done that, he was desperate for a wash to put this whole thing behind him. I'm Dave, and thanks for watching my video, which featured the Thomas Spooky track set from Fisher-Price. The track is slightly smaller than the regular Trackmaster track, and it has a different connection. However, it does come with an adapter to the old brown Trackmaster track. The set comes with a special, also slightly smaller, Thomas. Thomas tilts the track and then goes through the dinosaur cave. He then passes the green lever, which resets the track, and finally he goes through the spooky purple house, whose arm falls when Thomas emerges.
Percy and Gordon, said the Fat Controller. Due to someone knocking over all of the water towers nearby, I'm afraid every engine can only have one wash per day. But I only do dirty jobs, cried Percy. I know. Can I have Gordon's wash every day? He doesn't need it. He's an express engine. Gordon became very angry. I work very hard actually, Percy, and steamed off, spraying mud all over Percy. Percy, go and wash. That's your only wash of the day. So a sad Percy went to get washed. Soon, Percy approached a worker. I need to find a job where I don't get dirty at all. How about delivering sugar to the chocolate factory? He suggested. So Percy collected the trucks and began his journey. Oh no, here comes Diesel 10, up to his old tricks again. Watch out, Percy! Oh no! Well, at least it's only a bit of sugar, said Percy. And soon he was off again, on his way to the chocolate factory. But guess who was at the chocolate factory waiting for Percy? That's right, Diesel 10. Watch out, Percy! Oh no! Oh, Percy, said the Fat Controller. I'll let you wash again because it wasn't your fault, but you must watch out for trains like Diesel 10. And Percy had a final wash. What a day! Hi, Chris here. Thanks for watching my video featuring the Percy's Chocolate Crunch, which comes with 2 trucks with removable cargo and a piece over his head which can be taken off.
It was a very important day for Spencer. It was Princess Anna's birthday and he was pulling the royal coach. And he was very proud of his special decorations. On his journey, he passed James. "Hello, Spencer," said James. "Can't you see I'm busy, James?" said Spencer, and he rushed by. That was rude, thought James. Spencer then ran into Hero. "You look very important today," said Hero. "I'm always important," replied Spencer. As Spencer arrived at the station, Rheneas stopped to say hello. "I heard you were pulling the royal coach today," said Rheneas. "Of course I am. Let me do my job," Spencer replied. So Rheneas left. Queen Elsa and Princess Anna boarded the royal coach, and off they went. They wanted to stop off at the seaside and have a walk along the beach. Whilst waiting, Salty approached Spencer. "What a fine day to be at the seaside," he said. "Salty, I've got royal passengers today. Please don't get in my way." So Salty reversed into a siding so that Spencer could leave. Finally, he ran into Thomas. "Hi Spencer, you're looking very grand." But Spencer completely ignored him. "How rude," Thomas said. "He was rude to me too," said James. "And me," said Reneus. "And me," said Salty. "And me," said Hero. So they decided to teach Spencer a lesson. Meanwhile, Kristoff, Olaf, Prince Hans and Sven were waiting for the royal coach to arrive with Princess Anna and Queen Elsa. Once Spencer had dropped them off, his work was done, so he went back to his shed. On his way back, he passed Salty. Since when was Salty green, he wondered. Their trick had only just begun. Spencer then passed a yellow Reneus. Hold on, Reneus isn't yellow, Spencer thought. A green and blue Hero then passed. What's going on? Am I going mad? Spencer wondered. He hurried off to his shed. But the madness wasn't over. A black and yellow James passed him. What's going on? Why is nothing normal? He was desperate to get back to his shed. He then passed a green Thomas. Spencer was getting scared now. Maybe a good night's sleep would clear his mind. Hehe, the plan is working, chuffed Thomas. Spencer got back to his shed and tried to sleep. But his mind was racing, so he opened his eyes and couldn't believe what he could see. "Fooled you!" they all shouted. "What?" Spencer mumbled. "Sorry, Spencer, we just wanted to have a little fun with you because you ignored us earlier," explained Thomas. "Oh, sorry about that," replied Spencer. "That was fun," said Salty, "but I do miss my normal colours." Everyone agreed, so they all headed for the engine wash. "Ah, that's better," said Spencer. It had all just been some harmless fun.
It was Halloween. Peppa and George were getting ready for their Halloween party in the evening. "Right," said Peppa, "let's make the pumpkin pie." Then the doorbell rang. Peppa asked George to put the sugar in the mix and then went to answer the door. "Trick or treat," said a witch standing by the door. "Oh, sorry," said Peppa, "we're just making a treat. Can you come back later?" "Oh, very well," said the witch, "but I'll just make sure you hear me when I return." Peppa's ears suddenly grew very big. but Peppa didn't know. She closed the door and went to get a pie dish. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, George had got quite bored and decided to go out of the back door into the garden to play. Peppa returned with the pie dish and carried on making the pie. George had his net and was trying to catch the bats. Oh, George, they're just decorations. Then a witch came up to him. "Trick or treat," she said. George explained that they hadn't got the treat ready yet. "Oh, not again," said the witch. "Could you please come back later?" said George. "Oh, very well," said the witch. "But make sure you hear me coming." George's ears then suddenly grew, but George was unaware. The witch left. Peppa was just taking the cooked pie out of the oven when George went back in the kitchen. They looked at each other and started giggling. "George," said Peppa, "why have you got silly ears on?" "Me?" said George. "You're the one with the silly long ears." Peppa tried taking George's ears off, but they were stuck. "George," said Peppa, "did you see a witch outside?" "Yes," he said. "She said trick or treat." "I think we've been tricked," said Peppa. The doorbell rang again. Peppa looked outside. "It's her again," and they went to answer the door. "Trick or treat," said the witch to them both. "If we give you a treat, can we have our proper ears back?" said Peppa. "OK," said the witch. Peppa fetched the pumpkin pie. "Pumpkin pie, my favourite," said the witch, who picked the pie up. George's ears returned to normal, then Peppa's. "Thank you," they said together. The witch left with the pie. "Oh dear," said Peppa, "I think we're going to have to make another one." "George, did you remember to put the sugar in?" "Oops, I forgot," he said, and they started giggling. On the other side of town, a big slice of pumpkin pie was just about to be eaten. Ugh!
The engines and people of Sodor were excited. Thomas was bringing some of the stars of the film Cars for them to see up close. "Just one last tunnel," said Thomas. He steamed into the station to the cheer of the crowd. The cars were unloaded, but something was wrong. "These aren't the real cars," said someone from the crowd. "Who are they?" And two men stepped forward to find out. I recognised that laugh. Thought so. Tom Moss the prank engine, the naughtiest engine on Sodor. What have you done? And where are the real cars? The two men started pulling the imposter cars apart, one by one. The imposters were all revealed. But where were the real cars? Percy then caught a glimpse of Tom Moss in the tunnel. "It's Tom Moss!" shouted Percy. "He's got them!" Realising he'd been seen, Tom Moss made a run for it. "Don't worry, Percy," said Thomas. "I think I know where the real cars are." Thomas backed the empty trucks into the tunnel. He then steamed forward with all the cars on display to a cheer from the crowd. Everyone was pleased to see the cars. It was raining. Thomas, James and Percy were hard at work. Then the rain stopped, but the next problem was mud. And with no rain to wash it off, the engines got covered in mud. "Now, engines," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Victor is still fixing the engine wash, so you'll have to wait until the morning to get clean." Gordon was lucky. He arrived back clean. Victor eventually fixed the wash, but the engines were already resting for the night. The next morning they headed straight for the engine wash. Percy went in first. The mud was washed off, but...
Hello, I'm Thomas.
Oh dear, Percy thinks he's Thomas. James went next.
Hello, I'm Percy.
He came out talking like Percy.
I'm James. I'm the brightest red engine on Sodor.
Thomas came out talking like James. "Oh, what did I do to deserve this?" said Gordon. "They have all gone mad."
I'm James. I like delivering the mail. I'll jump in a puff to be there on time.
Victor was called to sort out the wash. "I don't understand it," he said. But what nobody knew was that the engine wash had a visitor very early in the morning. Tom Moss the prank engine. I might have known. Victor thought that he'd fixed it again. Percy tried it.
I'm James.
Oh no, this time he thinks he's James and it's made him go like a rocket. "Slow down, Percy." Same thing happened to James,
Hello, I'm Thomas.
who this time thought he was Thomas. Thomas came out talking like Percy.
Hello, I'm Percy.
A A little more adjustment, thought Victor.
Hello, I'm Percy. Bust my buffers. I'm a busy engine. I'm James. I'm the brightest red engine on Sodor. Hello, I'm Thomas.
This time it worked. When Thomas came out at normal speed, he saw Tom Moss in the tunnel. "You!" he said. Tom Moss realised he'd been seen and made a run for it. By the time Thomas had turned round, Tom Moss had gone. Thanks for watching our story featuring 3 of the Trackmaster talking engines that chuff around the track, randomly saying well-known phrases.
I must buff fast. There's no time for delay.
They don't usually say they're the wrong engine. We just mixed it up a little for the story.
Oh no, it's Tom Moss. What's he up to? Oh, he's got a helper. Oh look, a chocolate syrup truck. What's Diesel 10 doing with it? He's waiting for someone. Oh no! Percy! Watch out! Oh no, it's too late. Oh dear. He's covered in chocolate. Poor Percy. Tom has another idea. Uh-oh. Watch out, Thomas. And your chickens. Uh-oh. Oh, Thomas. Diesel 10 has an idea now. Watch out, Minions.
Uh-oh. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Tom has another idea, but it doesn't look like Diesel 10 likes this idea. He's doing it anyway. Fuel? Ooh, this looks dangerous. Fire? Oh no, he's going to set these trucks on fire. Oh, he caught fire himself. Oh no. Ah, help! Luckily, Thomas and Percy were nearby to get help. Water cannons, said Flim. It's not working. We need something bigger.
time to stop, chop, and rescue. Activating water cannon.
The fire was out. Well done, said Belle.
Mission completed. Great work, rescue team.
Thank you, Heatwave, said Flynn. Yeah, thank you, said Diesel 10. And I'm sorry, Thomas and Percy. It's okay, they replied. Tom Moss made me do it, said Diesel 10. Tom Moss? So Thomas chased him. But Tom reversed into his tunnel. So when Thomas arrived, he was gone. Maybe I'll get him next time, said Thomas. Hi, I'm Dave. Thanks for watching my video. Here's another you may have missed.